Been talking about the economy for a long time. In fact, been talking about it for years as we saw the Biden years that was really a problem. And now we've got Trump coming in trying to fix things, but it's going to take a while. To that end, I want to have my good friend Rich Jacoby on. He's the CEO over at GoldenCrest Metals.com. GoldenCrest Gold and Silver, great precious metals. Rich, I love the partnership and I love that we're talking about this again. How are you today?
Great. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing very well. So the economy is in flux. There's no doubt. Prices 2 days ago at my gas station were 30 cents lower than they were today. We're not really sure what tomorrow looks like. We hope and we pray the economy gets better, but people are getting scared. Precious metals play a big role in this. What do you see happening with the economy right now? Can we start to breathe easier, or are we still sort of anxious about everything?
I think we're still anxious about things. I mean, the tariffs are meant to boost the U.S. manufacturing, but in short term, they raise costs on everything we import. That means higher prices for everyday Americans and inflation. They never really went away. You've got a perfect storm, basically.
I mean, that's really what it is. The president would like to see more manufacturing here because then you don't pay any tariffs if you're making it here. But because the importer pays the tariffs, that's going to go to the end consumer at some point. And our dollar isn't worth as much as it used to be either. So if you don't mind, give me a little bit more on the tariffs. It doesn't sound like you're against them, but you realize as somebody who's in this business to make sure that our personal economy is good, you know that we're going to be paying the price a little bit at least up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically right now we're paying for it up front. It's obviously a strategic operation that's going on with the tariffs, but right now we're paying for it. And, the best way to do it is kind of diversify your portfolio. I'm not saying to put it all in precious metals, but
Right.
to put a portion of it in precious metals is probably the best thing to do right now.
Rich Jacoby, the owner and CEO at GoldenCrest Metals. We appreciate the time and the access. Go to goldencrestmetals.com and find out more about this. I never understood why we came off the gold standard for our currency. We've got a Federal Reserve that's a private entity that can do anything it wants with our interest rates up or down. The dollar is losing its value, 10% down already. What do we make of that? Is there a fear because there's competition coming from BRICS and other companies and other ideologies out there that want to devalue the dollar? What's going on with that? Why is that happening, and how can we be saved from that if we get into precious metals?
So, I mean, what we're seeing right now is a 10% drop in the reserve currency in just months is massive. It signals that the world is losing confidence in the dollar, and that's why central banks are buying gold at record levels from what we're seeing.
So, but what causes the dollar to go down in value like that? Do we know?
Well, it's inflation. It's a number of things. You obviously have BRICS, you have the fiat currency, you have the devalue of the dollar. There's a number of things that are happening right now that are causing that to happen.
Should we take all our money out of the bank? I mean, I'm not sure what to do is what I'm saying. I've got some gold, I've got some silver, not a ton, but I'm adding every day because it seems to be smart. I've never seen these metals valued at zero, and the depreciation of the metals doesn't really happen. They seem to ride right along just fine. Do I take all the money out of the bank? What do I do?
No, I mean, you don't take all your money out of your bank. It's just about diversification. Most Americans have 100% of their savings tied to the stock market or dollar-based assets. We help
Right.
people move a portion of their IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver assets so they don't lose value because the dollar does.
So I've got a 401k. I've got quite a bit of value. I've been building it for 25 years. At some point, you can take that money and invest it into precious metals. Is there a penalty? Is that an easy move? Do you help us with that move? How does that work?
We help you with that move. It's basically a self-directed IRA. You take your 401k or IRA and you basically do a rollover into a custodian. From the custodian, it goes to a depository, which is insured by the Lloyd's of London for all risk insurance for $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
So it's safeguarded, it's put away. You never have to worry about it. As opposed to some people that do cash purchases, want it shipped to them directly so they can actually touch and feel the metals.
Find out more about this, goldencrestmetals.com. It's the owner and CEO. It's Rich Jacoby. We appreciate the time and the knowledge, Rich. I've never really understood silver, and here's what I mean. When gold is going crazy, silver sometimes can be slow and steady. Silver has never, as I said earlier, been valueless. What's the deal with silver? It appears to be jumping big time right now. Why is that?
Well, mostly it's because of tech. You have solar panels, EVs, AI. a lot of those items are increasing the demand for silver. So we help people move a portion of that into silver.
Is the actual metal silver is used in these technologies that you're talking about?
Yes.
Is it like part of the board? If I were to take something apart, there's actually silver on the board. Is that how it
There's
is?
silver.
Is it that conductive? I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's used in technology. So
Gotcha.
the supply is tight and the demand's exploding right now. So I believe, in my opinion, it's the most undervalued asset in the market today.
It is Rich Jacoby. Go to goldencrestmetals.com. That's the website. Go and check it out right now and educate yourself on what's going on. What's the deal with the Genius Act? I don't know much, if anything, about crypto. People they want it regulated. They don't want it regulated. Who's got a coin? Who doesn't have a coin? Somebody keeps asking me about XRP. I don't even know what that is. So what's the deal with the Genius Act, and why should that matter to somebody's future and their investments?
Well, the Genius Act isn't about a government-run digital dollar.
Okay.
That's the red flag to begin with. It gives the green light for private companies, think big tech, Wall Street, to issue their own stable coins. These coins operate like digital dollars, but without the constitutional oversight.
So, again, I'm not into it at all, but I have heard about people coming up with a coin and then it just goes away. We've got to be very careful when we get into something that's so brand new. Are we worried about regulation? We don't want it to be regulated, or let's forget about all that and get some gold and silver. I mean, what would you suggest here? Because I'm confused about it. I do information for a living, and I don't get it.
Well, going back to the Genius Act, I mean, imagine your paycheck being issued by a private company, stored in a digital wallet that can be tracked, frozen, or even blocked based on your behavior or opinions. If you don't like how big tech censors free speech now, wait until they control the money.
No, that would be horrible. So, in other words, if you got tangible assets like gold and silver, and by the way, when people work with your company, you can get whatever you want to put in your safe, right? I mean, you actually have the asset.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big difference between what's on my hard drive that might crash, and maybe I forgot the digital number and the password, and going and opening my safe and finding some gold. I mean, that really is it sends us back to, I have something in my hand that's of value, or I have some numbers on a screen, right?
That's really what people come to us for. I mean, I've heard of people losing millions of dollars because they forgot their password to, Bitcoin or, any of these digital dollars that are out there. But with gold and silver, you can actually touch and feel it, and it's tangible. It's not going anywhere. And like you said, for thousands of years, it's been, a side of currency.
People are scared to death of the system. And again, it's Rich Jacoby, the owner and CEO of GoldenCrest Metals. Go to goldencrestmetals.com. Find out more right now. You've got to educate yourself on it. But people are fed up because we don't get it. I mean, there was a big talk for a while, and I wonder if you've got any opinion on this, that Fort Knox has no gold. I mean, nobody went and checked yet. It's been 40, 50 years since anybody's even gone. So having something tangible, something that is of value, that's never had zero value, seems to make a lot of sense. But people are fed up with the way things are working right now, but they're also scared to death about jumping into something new. So what would you suggest they do?
What I suggest you do is, get our 2025 Wealth Defense Guide that kind of walks you through the steps to diversify into physical gold and silver, tax advantage. It's not about fear, it's about being smart.
So, but people really don't know. And I get it. But people don't understand. So when they go to the website, goldencrestmetals.com, they're going to find this guide right there?
What you do is you call in and we'll actually ship it to you.
All right, and the number is 888-736-5484, 888-736-5484. People are teetering a lot. I find this in my listeners, my callers, those who are on my social media. They're teetering. Man, I'd like to look into that gold and silver, but it's such a big difference than getting a check or looking at a number on a screen or going to the bank. What sort of quick advice would you give? And I'm going to close out and give them all the information on how to get a hold of you again. What quick advice would you have to somebody who's teetering? I think I want to find out more, but I'm still kind of scared of it.
You can dip your toe in the water, start off
Right.
small, and then you can actually build and add on to your portfolio as needed. Like I said, we're not saying take your whole portfolio and dump it into gold and silver. It's just about diversification, and adding to your portfolio so you're diversified. And that's the best thing to do. And a lot of people call us and say, I want to do a starter. I want to start with 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. And then they call us a couple months later and then they add on. So a lot of people want to test the waters first to see how it behaves. And we have a lot of repeat business because of that, because, people want to get comfortable.
Rich Jacoby, the owner and the CEO over at GoldenCrest Metals. Go to goldencrestmetals.com. Rich, thanks for taking the time today to educate my listeners and my viewers, and let's do it again soon. And I really appreciate the partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, brother. I trust Rich. I trust GoldenCrest Metals. That's why I work with them. You've been listening and thinking maybe it's time that I get off the Wall Street roller coaster. You might want to go and get that 2025 Wealth Defense Guide. It's free. No pressure, just the truth, straight from somebody who actually gives a damn. Go right now to goldencrestmetals.com, goldencrestmetals.com, or call the number that we just talked about, 888-736-5484, 888-736-5484. Do it right now. And we're back after this.